What's poppin'? It's Mello. We about to make a beat. So now I'm going to break down how I made the melody on the beat. We're going to start here with the first instrument. All of the sounds, every single one in the melody is a one shot from my Omega one shot kit. So as far as that melody, the first thing that we'll go over is the notes. So as far as the notes, we are on C sharp as far as the chords. If you look at this chord right here, and then you look at this chord right here, that's a sus2 chord as far as a C sharp chord. Then this right here is a C sharp minor. So that's what we're doing. The melody don't even matter because all I'm trying to do here is just make something that sounds a little bit like something because we're going to morph it. This is going to be the foundation of the track. So I put some effects on it. You can look at the effects, you know. As far as the one shot, I put a release on it. That's all you need to know about that. Should have took the loop off, but you know, I didn't, whatever. We put a chorus on it. You see what I did with the chorus. I boosted the rate up quite a bit. I put a reverb on it. Nothing really special other than low cutting and raising the wetness. And that's really it on this sound. Now, this is what I did. I knew I wanted to create something very texture-like. So what I did was I rendered that melody down by exporting it as a wave. After I exported it as a wave, I then put it in the session as an audio clip. I muted this. And let's listen to the final result of what came out. Now I'm going to show you something because how we got there is quite crazy, because if you listen to what we did earlier, you know, I did a poor man's halftime. That's what I actually did. So boom, this is what I did. I took the melody. I went to edit, zoomed in. Now what you do when you click this bar right here, the underbar, raise it up. You want it set to sync. And what I did is pull this out to where it was on beat. You'll want to turn the metronome on. I'm not going to have the time on point or anything like that for this because I'm just showing a demonstration. So boom, that's the first part of the poor man's halftime. So after that, I went back in here and this is what I did. I zoomed in. You see this right here where it goes. That's one bar right there. Two of these, that's one bar. So every bar, I click slice after having it selected. Went out another bar, click slice. You got to click more to get to slice. I just chopped it up like that. And what I did was every in-between joint, I would delete it and then just slide the other one over. So that's the first part. So after I rendered it down, that made it so I could use it without the stretch and stuff like that. So I rendered that just soloed down. And now I have this because all I did was took that and then lowered the pitch. I could have lowered it by 12, but I lowered it by 10. You see the pitch down there where it says -10. And boom, we have the poor man's halftime complete right there. So with that, we have a solid melodic / chord foundation for the dark beat. After that, it gets kind of simple. Right here, I have a bell. So with this pad that I have here, let's listen to it real quick. All that I did was roll the root note, which as far as the sample, you got to remember, I didn't put it down 12. I put it down 10 as far as the pitch down. So that means that even though I played this in C sharp minor, it's going to be 2 notes higher. So I rolled that D sharp pause. Stop. Now, as far as that, you can see what I did. I raised the release up real high. I put a filter on it, a low pass filter. And I used the graphic EQ to take out some of the lows, even though the lows really stand out. It was a lot beefier than that. Now after that, it gets a lot easier. This right here, I got a bell melody that I made. It's very simple. When you're making the dark melodies, you definitely want to use a tension note. So you see I'm using the second and the third note in the minor scale that I'm working with, and just ride the root note for most of it. I really just wanted to make a rhythm, a melodic rhythm. You know, I didn't want to make a crazy, catchy melody or anything like that. We're just really doing textures with what we're doing as far as this, creating textures and rhythm. Now, as far as the effects on this, you can see I did the release and all that. I did the reverb. But this is the thing that I like about FL Studio Mobile. It's got a built-in wow and flutter, which is basically like RC20. You know, that's the feature that made everybody buy RC20. So you see the settings and all that right there. Put another filter on it, another low pass. You know, we're good money with that. And also a tape delay. Now I have a lead melody right here. It doesn't play at the same time as a bell melody. It doesn't. And I turned it down real low, so it's kind of just like, you know, ambient in the background. It's not trying to pop out in the forefront. So let's play it. So all I really did with most of this is roll the fifth note in the scale. That's all I really did with this. Outside of that, filled in some other notes. There's nothing special really about the other notes. So with this, I kept the release down all the way so that when I stop, it stops. And I also put this in mono mode. I put some reverb on it, as you can see. Also, some wow and flutter always goes good on synths for the most part. So, you know, I hit it with a little bit of that. Now, this is the last part and the crazy part of the melody. I'm just going to play this right here. Your boy made an accent in FL Studio Mobile. Something crazy, bro. So as far as this is the piano that I started with. And this is all I did. I just took the horseshoe off and just slid the first three notes in the scale, you know, a few times, put a few notes in there and just made them all jumbled up and stuff like that. Now with this is where it gets kind of tricky, and this is where everything came in. So the first thing I did is on a band pass filter. I set this to a band pass and made the cutoff, you know, 67. So when it gets freaky is when we go to the LFO, and I have the LFO set on tempo sync, and I have it to the filter, and I set it to something like 27. We'll put it at 29, whatever, so you can hear it. With that band pass going crazy the way it's going, it kind of makes it like a squishy noise at that point. So that's what the LFO did. I then took this flanger through the comb filter, this flanger setting, 2 octaves, and then put that on there. I then put a tape delay on it, real heavy, put the mix up. And then I put a low pass filter on it, something slight. And that's what we're working with as far as that accent. That custom accent. So you learn something good there, but we're not done. I also made this one. Now with this, I used the GMS synth, and this is all I did. I did the same thing, something similar. I went to the filter. So on a low pass filter on the instrument, on the GMS synth, I raised the cutoff for the filter. I then went to the LFO, and then pretty much just pushed it to the left negative so that it would make a gate. Then after that, I used the reverb. I used the trance delay. And then I used the graphic EQ to kind of give it a phone effect so that it wasn't popping out too much and it would be more subtle. So boom, that's how we made both of the accents that I made. Now with this, you know, I arranged the sample and all that, rendered it out, and then made all this. Crazy. All of the drums are from Combustion 4, which is not out yet. It may be out if you're watching this in the future, like, you know, later after it came out. but right now it's not out yet. So with this, I laid the foundation, an open hat and a snare, custom snare made from scratch, not made with any other snares from any other kits or anything like that. Now this is the one right here. With this, I manually laid out a hi-hat pattern, and I show you in my FL Studio mobile tutorial how to lay out hi-hat chops and stuff like that, but I had to put the twos in manually and all the chops manually with my fingers. Let's play it. Cray cray. Now with this, I laid out a percussion pattern with a little bit of custom percussion and then one typical piece of percussion, the rim and stuff like that. Let's go through it. Last thing I did was put this synth effects right here. And when you look at it, I just had to time up the FX tape delay. And that's pretty much the beat. Now, it's possible to mix this in FL Studio Mobile, but I'm probably going to send it to a computer. But I just wanted to show you it is possible to make bangers with this. I'll definitely have some more FL Studio Mobile joints coming in the future. And I keep it 500,000 with y'all on this. I'm not going to be using the computer for a little minute. Not going to get into why, but more computer tutorials as far as like, you know, the FL Studio on the computer. It'll be coming in the future, just not right now. Be sure to like the video, comment, and also subscribe. I'll see y'all another day, somehow, some way.